Hi, this is Dave with a demonstration video on a 2012 Mosca Fusion I have for sale, serial number 103147. This machine has the 600mm by 500mm arch, which is 23.5 wide by 20 tall. It's the smallest size that will do large mail trays. It'll also do buckets. So this is a nice all-around machine. It's set for 5mm strap. I've got 5mm clear embossed in it right now. That's Mosca 5040C. And I like the embossed. It has a little more grip. Some very picky Postmaster Generals will require that you have the smooth, but these work better with the embossed, so that's what I sell to most of my customers. This machine features a CPU, which was used on the earlier Fusions rather than the motherboard. The motherboards, you have a way to check the counts. You have to have a special Mosca tool to do it. But I can't check the counts on this because it has the Siemens CPU. So I just have to guesstimate. I think it's like between 1 million and 2 million cycles, which is average. I've done so many of these machines, I can usually tell by the wear and tear. There wasn't a lot of wear and tear on this machine. It's got a brand new heater on it, which is a nice thing. Mosca gets north of $900 for a heater. And heaters usually last 3 to 5 years with normal use. Unless you're like some of my customers that just leave them on all the time. But yeah, about $900 for a new heater, so that's a nice thing. It's got new bearings down in the accumulator where the accumulator motor. There's a pressure wheel that has new bearings. The feed wheel has a pressure wheel, and that's got new bearings. Behind the feed wheel, or behind the feed the wheel itself, there's a big bearing, and that's replaced. Then the most important of all is the camshaft. There's a bearing on the right side. The motor's on the left side, the bearing's on the right. And most Mosca techs don't bother because you have to take the motor apart, disassemble the whole darn thing, and that's been replaced on this machine. I always do that because when I first get a machine, I like to test it to make sure I'm going to be working with a working machine. And it'll sound like there's sand in the gears. And once I get done, I look for that whippy sound. That means the bearing's been replaced. It's smooth, which is a nice thing to have done. All of the surface rust and gouges have been wire wheeled off. Then I sanded the whole outside of the machine. I primed it with epoxy primer, just where the bare metal was. And then I covered the whole machine in hardened urethane enamel matching Mosca blue. So it looks nice. Of course, you know, once I sell these, I go in a year later and they look like heck because everybody scratches them, puts stickers all over. But when it's new, it looks pretty good. I've got brand new locking swivel casters on all 4 corners, which is also nice because you can move it around like this. If you have any Moscas, you know you can't move them like that. The back ones are fixed. It's got a brand new power cord, which isn't a big deal, but if you got a machine that needs a power cord and you don't want to do it yourself, this one's already been done. It's got the electrical print in the cabinet where the CPU is, and it also, I always sell my machines with a stick that's got a PDF of the factory manual. Mosca factory manuals are fantastic, so that's nice to have. And let's give it a little demo here. I got the tension jacked up a little bit. So you can do small boxes, mail trays, and if you're not familiar with Moscas, one of the nice things that they have is something called a soft touch. Push the soft touch and it turns off the tension motor, which allows you to take a stack of flats. You can even do just a thin stack of number 10 envelopes. See how it just kisses my hand? If I turn the tension on, it's going to squeeze into my hand really hard. So you can take your stack of flats, and it just barely bites in, which is what you want. You want it to barely bite in, because if you don't have the soft tench, if you're using a Dynaric or a straight pack, it's going to bite into the edge really hard. But with the soft touch button, you just kiss the edges, just tight enough to make the strap not want to wander off your bundle. This machine has been completely cleaned. I took the took the track apart here, took out the whole track mechanism. It's easier just to clean it that way. Down inside, you'll see it's all lickety split, beautifully clean and ready to work. So that's about it. If you have any questions, you can contact me through, I have this listed on eBay. I leave my phone number on the YouTube listing, so you can contact me there. If you have any other questions, I have a large assortment of different Moscas. I've got some P6 that's back there behind the curtain, and we've got a lot of small TRC3s. So if you have any need and you don't see something, give me a call. Thank you for viewing.